There'll be peace when you are done. Lay your weary head to rest. Don't you cry no more.
Tony the review guy, aka the shit. Optimistic, not a critic. What should he review, you say? It's your pick, World Wide Web, ain't got shit on this. Put it up on YouTube, giving all of you news. We win, you lose. Tune into the channel, maybe you subscribe. Listen to reviews or some shit that he'll describe.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the Review Crew 100. I am the review guy, and I am here to talk about the 2009 film that was released by Lionsgate Distribution Company and was directed by Peter Cornwell. I am talking about none other than the horror film titled Haunting in Connecticut. This was one of my favorite films of 2009. This was one of my favorite horror films to date. I went and saw this with a buddy of mine in theaters, and I bought it as soon as it came out on DVD. I loved the structure of it. It was one of the first films that sort of had that kind of build up and that structure that I had seen, and I loved it. It was creepy, it wasn't too CG affected, it wasn't crappy, it wasn't nonsensical swearing, it wasn't all sorts of this lame crap. The characters were good, the acting was great. So let's get into the film, shall we? This film deals with a family that is dealing with the mother's son has cancer, and they're in the final steps. They're starting to get it treated, and in order to do so they had to move to Connecticut, and the son would be able to move on to the next steps. Well, they move into this house. It's the only house they could get, and the mom got it on a good deal because it was a funeral home back in the day, and now it's a home. And so she bought it without the father's consent or even the family's consent because they were desperate. So they move in. Everything seems all hunky-dory and wonderful at first until some strange things start happening. And mainly the son that has cancer is seeing these spirits. He sees these black figures, and he chooses, you know, at first they get to pick the rooms because there's like 3 of them or 4 of them that are of the kids, and he gets to choose his bedroom, and he chooses the basement, which has this sealed away part to the basement. And you find out that there was some stuff that went on in that room, and the spirits are he sees spirits in that room. And I don't want to give away the twists necessarily, because I want you guys to definitely check this out, but pretty much you find out that there's this evil, horrible, plotted twist, that backstory that happened way back in the day, this horrible thing that happened, which is why the spirits are still there. And you also get introduced to the Reverend, which is like one of the coolest characters like ever, because he comes in and with his philosophies and his things like that. He just plays it out so well, and the actor did a great job. Peter Cornwell did an awesome directing job. This is just outstanding. It blew me away with how well this was directed. I know a lot of you guys are probably going to say this is outdated, and you know, this is an old film, it's not that great or whatever, but so what? Who cares? This film was awesome. In my opinion, this film was great. It was creepy. It has one of the greatest, and I want to talk about this for a second, it had one of the greatest fake out scares I have ever seen. There's a scene where the daughter she's older, she's about my age, and she's looking under her bed, and instead of your typical scare out, it's just awesome. You definitely have to see it. I couldn't do it justice describing it to you guys. But let's just say what you think is going to happen doesn't happen. Let's see. This definitely delivers on the scare factor if that's what you're into. It's not gory by any means. There's no blood. There's no killer. There's no slasher. There's no Michael Myers running around killing people. It's straight up ghost. If you're into spirits, if you're into the whole creepy kind of horror films, then this is definitely one to check out. It's not a hack and slash. It's not anything like that. but definitely worth checking out. I would say if you're into the ghost kind of stuff like I am, I prefer the creepy, supernatural kind of stuff like this as opposed to your typical killer film. I like these more, but these are hard to find and there's not a lot of good ones out there at the moment. Insidious, which is another film that I have reviewed, was one of the only other films that sort of follows the structure that I have seen. And so, pretty much, Haunting in Connecticut, directed by Peter Cornwell. Definitely check it out. I bought the Blu-ray version. I upgraded from the DVD. I got this for like $8 or something like that. Definitely worth the money. Probably get it for about as cheap on Amazon. The story, like I said, was cool. The characters are well developed. The dad is the only one that I didn't find necessary, or the way he was acting I didn't find necessary, and I know it's supposed to be based on true events, so they had to play it out that way, but they tried to do a Shining kind of thing, and it wasn't working out too well. That's the only complaint I have about this. The CG is beautiful. I mean, it's great CG effects. A lot of practical effects too, but the spirit's not too computer animated. It's well done, very creepy, and it delivers, which is the most important fact to me in a film is, does it deliver? And yes, it does deliver. On a scale from 1 to 10, I'd have to rate this at about a 8. Very hard to get a 10 for me, but I would have to say this is an 8. This is a really good film. The director knew what he was doing. I'd love to see more from him. This was back in 2009. Definitely check it out. It's got a lot of special features on the Blu-ray, and it is a Lionsgate distribution. So that's The Haunting in Connecticut, and this is an awesome film. I highly recommend it. It gets an 8 on the review guys scale, and thank you for bearing with me here. I will let you guys go. Don't want to babble on too much here. So thanks for watching, and join me next time where I shall review yet another great film. So, see you later.